Welcome to the Advise Show, Media, the Common Sense Approach. So we have an update with the case of Laquan McDonald. Now we know the cop went to jail, but now he has posted his bail. His bail is set at $1.5 million. But the judge did not say he need to pay the full bail. No, he gave him the standard rate on bail, which is 10%. And they paid $150,000. Now the cop is right back out of jail. I'm gonna roll the clip.
Shortly after 5 p.m., Jason Van Dyke walks out of Cook County Jail after being behind bars for almost a week. Wearing a navy blue hoodie, the Chicago cop said nothing as he walked out with his father, friends, and Fraternal Order of Police President Dean Angelo.
Dean, how does Officer Van Dyke feel about it?
Didn't ask him.
With some pushing and shoving to get into the car, Van Dyke was surrounded by several cameras. Angelo says he is definitely concerned about his officer.
Is he concerned for his own safety right now?
Sure he is.
Did he say that?
No.
Did you ask him?
Nope.
The judge set bond after viewing the dash cam video in open court. Van Dyke leaned over and watched the video when the judge asked for the gallery to view it as well. Surrounded by several Cook County Sheriff's deputies, Van Dyke's arms and legs were shackled. His attorney admits that the video that shows his client shooting Laquan McDonald 16 times doesn't seem justifiable, but Dan Herbert says there's much more to the case that will play out in court.
He's prepared to defend himself. He is very scared about the consequences that he's facing. He's concerned for his wife and his children, but he is handling it like a professional, and he is ready to move on and take this step by step.
Van Dyke is the first Chicago police officer to face first-degree murder charges in decades. He was charged on the eve of the video's release, which was more than a year after 17-year-old McDonald was killed. Angelo says the video does not tell the whole story.
I think Officer Van Dyke steps into his training mode and takes action that he believed at that time was justified.
There's a problem with this report, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, the judge did not make his decision about bail until that Monday, which is today, correct? $1.5 million. And they came up with $150,000 like that to get him out of jail. They said the family said they had the money to get him out. Most people don't really have $150,000 laying around. Now, what was happened was the Fraternal Order of Police put out a national call to raise money for this officer's bail, and even asked retired people to pitch in. Now, we know from recent history, every time one of these cops kill a black kid, they hit the lottery. They get a lot of donations because they're like, good job for the modern day lynching of another black person at the hands of law enforcement. They just have adapted in their ways of lynching, because hanging you off of a tree is pretty bad. But if you shoot a black person and say you fear for your life, then you combine it with the media propaganda that black people is the most violent people ever. Even though if you look at statistics with the FBI, you look at history, you're talking about America, it really don't add up to us being the most violent people. But, if we want to go down that rabbit hole, I'll definitely go down that rabbit hole in the video for you. But it's not the one to do that in. So you combine it with the propaganda, media, and then racism, and then, systematic, racism that go along with it within society and oppression, all this other stuff. So it makes it kind of like okay to kill black people. This is why they came out saying Black Lives Matter, because it's okay to kill black people. It's no problem. Like Tupac said, if you kill an N, you're a hero. And that's what happens in this society. That's why they like to hit the lottery when they kill a black person. So getting out of jail is not going to be a problem when the judge just say $1.5 million. Oh, shoot, I got that $150 right now. We got it waiting for you, So it just, let me tell y'all something about this case. And I'm going to prepare you for it. I'm not being the guy that just don't have any, it's not optimistic. Let me use that word. But don't be surprised if this guy gets off. If they find some sort of way to blame the kid, because they're already doing it. They taint, see what they do, they taint the jury in the media. And they don't want to try the case in Chicago, because in Chicago, they may get some blacks on that jury. They don't want that. They want to try that case so they can get an all white jury, and then it will be better for them, for that cop. Because, you know, just the way it is about the narratives. That's why they push it. He had a knife in his hand, but he was walking away. He was on PCP, but he was walking away. What that has to do with anything? Now, he's charging the cop. That's one thing, but he wasn't even doing that. But, you know, when we run away, we get shot in the back. You remember seeing that video, Walter Scott? How many times black people have ran away? And really, based on a lot of history, why wouldn't a black person fear for their life? What was a lot of these white male cops? I'm just basing it off of what we see. And don't come to me saying, oh, look, me the same. I didn't say they were. But I'm just basing off of the incident. And we have seen that it's mostly white male cops that's killing black people. I mean, if you can refute that, please do it. But that's what we see all the time. So I'm just calling that out for what it is. Don't get mad at me that I said it. Just prove me to say that's not true, which you know is true. You the one, but a lot of you just get mad and call me names. After you call me names, the facts will remain what it is. The truth will always outwin your childish name calling. That really doesn't bother me at the end of the day. But this cop is out. The money was raised. But Sandra Bland had basically $500 to get out with the bail, and Sandra Bland couldn't even get out of jail. That's one thing we need to do as black people. We need to make sure to start mobilizing our money together and getting our brothers and sisters out, because you notice how they don't stay in jail very long. Do you notice that? They get out just like that. Hit me up in the comments, future commentaries, subscribe.